The name of the Japanese kamikaze means divine wind. It originates from two words kami divine and kaze wind. This name was born long ago, in 1281, when a powerful typhoon miraculously saved Japan by destroying the fleet of Kublai Khan. How did the kamikaze pilots come to be, and what happened to those who survived? Enjoy watching. At the end of World War II, the divine wind found new significance. In 1944, the aviation forces of the Land of the Rising Sun were struggling. Japan's military aviation lagged significantly behind its American counterparts, and many ace pilots had already fallen in battle. There were neither enough resources to repair aircraft nor sufficient fuel supplies. Vice Admiral Takijiro Ohnishi, commander of the 1st Air Fleet, formed the Kamikaze pilot squads, whose mission was to destroy enemy ships through suicide attacks, crashing their bomb-laden planes directly into their targets. To recruit kamikaze pilots, candidates received special questionnaires with a single question: do you want to become a kamikaze? However, there was a catch. There was no option to refuse. More precisely, the wording was designed in such a way that declining was equivalent to admitting cowardice. Nevertheless, a kamikaze pilot and his family were guaranteed honor and universal respect. The pilot himself was even placed on par with the gods. Given that the spirit of the samurai remained deeply rooted in Japan, many young men lined up at recruitment offices. Naturally, not all were accepted. Married men were not eligible to become kamikaze pilots, which sometimes led to tragic and absurd situations. One of the most striking examples involved Hajime Fuji. He was rejected because he had a wife and 2 children. To allow her husband to achieve divine status, his wife took her own life and that of their children. Only then was Hajime Fuji accepted as a kamikaze pilot. There was no shortage of volunteers, but there was a growing shortage of aircraft to carry out these deadly missions. Japan quickly ramped up aircraft production, but the quality left much to be desired. The priority was simply ensuring the planes could reach their targets. For example, on the Nakajima Ki-115 Tsurugi aircraft, the landing gear was intentionally designed to fall off after takeoff. This way, the wheels could be reused for launching other aircraft, as landing was unnecessary. Alongside conventional planes, kamikaze pilots used wooden gliders like the Yokosuka MXY-7 Oka, which had their own rocket engines. These gliders were attached to bombers, carried to altitude, and then released, relying on their rocket propulsion to reach their targets. The Japanese military sought to use anything that could fly and deliver kamikaze pilots and their deadly cargo to enemy ships. A kamikaze pilot was expected to die in the attack. If a pilot survived, he and his entire family were branded with the mark of shame. However, there was one exception. If the pilot's aircraft failed to reach its target due to technical issues or other circumstances, he was required to return to base and attempt the mission again. One remarkable case stands out in history. A kamikaze pilot, Petty Officer Yamamura, failed to reach his target 3 times. The first time, the bomber carrying his aircraft was shot down. The second time, he had to return due to impossible flight conditions. The third time, his detachment mechanism malfunctioned, preventing him from separating from the carrier bomber. Yamamura eventually survived the war, even enduring a nuclear bombing. In reality, the kamikaze attacks were highly effective. According to Japanese estimates, they sank 81 American ships and severely damaged 195 more. However, American records tell a slightly different story. 34 ships were sunk, and 288 were significantly damaged. As always, the truth likely lies somewhere in between. Despite the fact that most kamikaze pilots were shot down before reaching their targets, their attacks had a tremendous psychological impact on American troops, striking fear and disrupting morale. It is also worth noting that kamikaze pilots were not limited to aircraft. Japan employed manned kamikaze torpedoes, launched from submarines, as well as small explosive-laden boats designed to ram enemy ships. During the war, approximately 4,000 kamikaze warriors were trained. Young men, the very elite of the nation, most under the age of 20. Raised in the traditions of the samurai, they went to their deaths voluntarily. They were honored as true heroes who had fulfilled their duty to their country and emperor with great devotion. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your likes and your time spent on this video. Also watch other videos on our channel, like how they left one woman in the Arctic with polar bears and returned only after 2 years. Or how one woman was trapped among 30 sailors, hellish survival story on Anatahan Island.